So Liz, you're up next. I'm going to mute myself and let's jump in. Ready, steady, go.
Well, good night, everyone. My name is Liz Chavez. I'm Mexican. And I take vacations by myself. I already did my time, 18 years vacationing with my mom, my dad, my sister. That's hard time. Now, Liz is a grown-up and Liz is free. My mom, AKA Miss, I'll do whatever, whenever, if ever. Yeah, Mom. But the plane will leave at the time it's set. It's not on your feeling o'clock. She is a 16-year-old trapped in a 70-year-old body. She wants to dance all night long, even if she has to stay in bed all week long. She doesn't believe in stranger danger. She would go and see if there are actually puppies and candy in the van. My dad, AKA Enrique the Explorer, he waits for no one. Annoying. Annoying in Spanish is irritante. Can you say irritante? He's a regular Johnny Walker. He just keeps on walking. When we find him, he's surprised we're mad. Tells us about the wonders he saw. He asks if we saw them too. Know that we were looking for you. My sister, AKA the diva. She's like, I'll get there when I get there and you'll like it. How dare you order breakfast before I do? It's not even brunch yet. I'm like, yeah, sis, you're right. It's not brunch, it's dinner. My vacations are always happy, drama-free, on time. I like to go where the people are not. I wanna see no one walking around in those, what do you call them? Desert islands. I'm traveling solo next time. They won't be happy, but I'll be. I'm bringing them souvenirs. For my dad, a tracker. For my mom, a bracelet with her date of birth and a return address. My sister, Flavor Flav's wall clock necklace. And brochures for 3 people vacation. That's my time.
Nice work, Liz. I love it. All right, cool. So let's take a look at the first bit that you had. And let's take a quick look and see, what do you think the game of that was?
Well, I broke it up into like the personas, like a short description. I changed it a little, so I need to get like better segues. But it's like breaking down. I take vacations by myself. The 3 reasons, the 3 people, and then how my vacations are.
Perfect. So we're talking vacations. We're talking solo versus group vacation. Right? So a great way to fold this in at the end, like a callback, would be to mention something about like, oh my God, this is so exhausting. You know what I need? A vacation. ... By myself. Or I need a vacation dot 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 like pause. I wonder if my family's available, especially if you just got done talking shit about how you don't vacation well together, right? So it's like the callback is you go to the end when you're at the end of your set and you're like, what? Jump to the end of your set for a second and let's look at the final bit.
Oh, I do like a Little Mermaid. I don't sing, but I try to kind of do the tone.
No, it's good.
And describing my vacations are always happy, drama-free, on time. I like to go where the people are not. I want to see no one. Walking around in those, what do you call them? Desert islands?
Right. Which is so, is there another thing to say sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised when I went there and I couldn't take my drink from the restaurant. Like, I'm not driving, why can't I take my drink out of the restaurant?
Okay, so going back to this for a second. So at the end, because I really like your instinct of doing like you had like first of all you had the rule of three, which is really great, and then you had like the first two were great, and it's also like you want to try when you're doing that particular device, you want to try to do as close to the original as possible. So like, for example, let's go through that for a second. So when you did that device and you did like, I caught it right away, right? It's like the Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people aren't. I want to see, do you see what I say? Try to like actually sound like the original. So let's look at those three different pieces, right? So let's go to the first one. It's what I want to be where the people aren't.
Yeah, I said I like to go wherever the people are not. It's way more worthy, but I'm taking yours.
So it just works better because people, if you're like, yeah, so back up for a second. When did you introduce the Little Mermaid by name, or was it like go like two lines back? Let me hear it from there.
I want to say my vacations are always happy, drama-free, on time. Mm-hmm. And then I like to go where the people are not. Shoot.
So what I would do is I would back up for a second and say something about the Little Mermaid. You could be like, girl, when I'm on vacation, I'm like the little girl maid. I like to be where the people aren't. Or if there's a way to make, like, what does mermaid sound like? Mermaid, girl maid, maybe if you drink a lot of vacation, maybe barmaid. And when I go on vacation, I like to be like the little barmaid. I want to be where the people aren't. Hold on one second. There's a train going by, so give me about 30 seconds. In the meantime, think about like All right. So let's circle back to what we were working on. So like, let's see. So like the first line that you had, Liz, let's work on that one. So it's so I heard you say like, I want to roll where the people aren't. If you want to, like, a good way of doing this joke is if you introduce something that says something about the Little Mermaid. Sure, I'm like Shermaid, were made. I'm just like phonetically playing to try to find the right fit, right? So like find a word that's like, yeah, when I'm on vacation, I'm like the little blah, blah, blah. Find a word that fits. And then you say, yeah, man, I'm just like, I want to be where the people. Pause. Let their brains guess at the word because they know it's going to be R. And you go, aren't. That'll get a laugh because it's an AB3. They expect the word to be R. And you're like, aren't. I want to see an absence. Right? Like it's like you. That's the fun with lyrical stuff like that because everyone knows those songs. No, maybe not everyone, but many people know the songs. So they're expecting to know the answer. And then when you switch it up, and then like you can kind of chuckle with them. And then what's that third line that you had?
Oh, I wanna see no one.
Mm-hmm.
Walking around in those, what do you call them? Desert islands?
Mm. So if you say, I'm walking around, okay, yeah, so we could do that. That's definitely an option. You could also be like, I'm walking around and now, what do you call them? Oh, yeah. What's another word for feet or street? Or like what's something that sounds like that? Like you could modify the lyrics a little bit to have it be like, eating fine meats or what sounds like meat, beat, like wheat. Like I'm thinking of all the things that sound like that. So you can switch it out and make it sound, make the words reflect whatever you want them to reflect. But when you sing it a little bit, like the actual song, the closer you get, the more rewarding it is to the audience. So it's the difference between I want to roll where the people aren't and I want to be where the people aren't. That's the difference. It rolls better and the audience is more receptive to that because they feel like they know the answer. So that's a fun thing. And then maybe at the end, you could reference that again with like, maybe naming one of the characters, like, okay, Sebastian, or like, what, you know what I mean? Like bring up, that would be your callback. But there's a game that you created and then you go back and play that game with like a one word thing. And the audience is like, oh my God, ha ha ha, we were here for the setup of that. And now you just put one little word in and it's done. They like get it. You know what I mean? So let's do one more thing with your set. Let's go to the end of your set. Pick something from the end of your set that you actually, let's see, go to like your last bit.
Oh, I'm bringing them souvenirs for my dad, a tracker.
Sorry, we're on a patio. People are walking. Perfect. Okay, let's back up for a second. Go ahead and do that one. Say that one again really quickly, please.
Yeah, I'm bringing them souvenirs. For my dad, a tracker. For my mom, a bracelet with her date of birth and a return address. My sister, Flavor Flav's wall clock necklace.
Nice.
And brochures for 3 people vacation. So
Okay, cool.
Count me out.
Cool. They can count you out. Okay, great. So maybe it was like a brochures for 3 people vacations and a calculator so they can count you out. Like, that's just what I would add in, just because it's like silly. And just give it a pause so people are like, why would they have a calculator? So they can count me out. Boom. Cool. So I like what you did with that first one you did for your dad. You said a tracker.
Yeah, tracker. A tracker.
What kind of tracker?
Well, one to locate exactly where he is.
Okay, so I would say a location tracker. Because when you said it, I thought you said tractor. And I was like, wow, that's a really expensive gift.
My accent.
That's okay. That's okay. So this is a perfect example of like adding in one word makes it so specific and gets the message clear so people aren't wondering. Because even if you say tracker, do you mean like a step tracker? You know, like to get those steps in? Or is it a location tracker? Again, if I'm in the audience and I'm thinking, what did she mean? I'm not listening to your punchline. So the trick is to add in just enough information to be clear and not too much information. The train is coming back. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, great job. I'm gonna. Hey, Mitch, do you want to do your